And as a trade writer, I can say that the 8 shots technique that's well studied. That's a good shot for writing.
Well, following up on him, I'm also in shot for shot with him, so I'm also at 8 shots. So Gav and Barbara, or Berber Dunkenschnack, posted pictures of themselves with Ed Robertson. Will he be returning, possibly in a flashback, as a young Private Flowers?
Where the fuck were you 2 weeks ago when he was at the office? Thinking of that. Damn. No, maybe we can get him back. No, he was on a tour. He came through Austin, and whenever he comes through Texas, he usually has a day off, and then we just take him out to barbecue all over Texas. How many barbecue places do we go in one lunch?
When I was hired, Bernie told me every new employee gains 15 pounds.
Yep.
We went to go get barbecue in Lockhart. We went to 3 fucking barbecue restaurants. And then got ice cream sandwiches. Yeah, peer pressure. We went to 3 different barbecue places.
I want to be hired now.
Yep.
Don't do it.
You know what I gotta say though? Last week I was in, I'm gonna be very careful about the way I say this, Montreal. I was there for the Just for Laughs Comedy Festival. Yeah. That was a blast, by the way. And I went to Schwartz's Deli and had a smoked meat sandwich. That seriously might have been the best smoked meat I've had anywhere in the world. And I knew it was going to be good because it was recommended by the guys from Epic Mealtime. Yeah. It's in their hometown. So, whenever you talk to Harley after a while, you don't even see a person. It's just a beard talking to you. It's like you're in a Muppet movie all of a sudden.
So, hi to all of you. I got a question for Bernie and Gavin. For Bernie, that blue character we see right now in season 10 and a bit of season 9 during, like you see in the poster. Do we find out who that is?
I'm sure I don't know who you're talking about, sir.
It's like Caboose Color. So just a freelancer. He was with your
the blue ODST character?
Yeah.
Stay tuned is all I can say on that.
All right, oh my God. One more for Gavin. Who's your favorite pony?
I have to sit next to Jewel Wheeler. It's in stereo right now. I have to sit next to Michael and Ray every single day. Literally, they just did a video where they were commentating on a Skyrim mod that lets you land My Little Pony into the game. Listening to them talk about that was like I'd flown to Japan and I was just listening to a conversation. I have no idea what any of them saying. I don't know any ponies' names, I'm sorry.
Rainbow Dash!
That's the one, Rainbow Dash.
Yes!
Are you serious?
What?
I'd like to start by congratulating you on reaching 1 billion views on YouTube.
Thank you.
And I've noticed recently that your channel on YouTube has gained over like 250 million views in the last 3 months since you've reached that.
Yep.
And I just want to ask, in like the last 10 years that you guys have been around and all that you've been achieving stuff like that, like where do you see you guys going in the next 10 years the way that this has been snowballing?
1 trillion.
Well, Kathleen, I think your role at Rishit has changed the most, I would say, over the years. Can you talk a little bit about that?
I originally started as the voice of Tex, and Bernie was the voice of Tex when Tex was a dude, sort of, we didn't know, and then I became the voice of Tex. But
another trivia question, Tex's name originally was Dex, D-E-X, and not
really?
Tex.
I didn't know that.
In the original trailer was a D, and then we looked at it and go, let's change it to Tex.
Texas, so much
We want
better.
to use Dex for Dexter Griff, so, sorry.
And but I worked in the animation field. I was producing films in Los Angeles, and the guys always knew that, and I, was hankering for the day that I actually could be a part of the production team. But with Machinima, it doesn't really take a huge team, and which is the great part of Machinima. I mean, you have the director and you have the guys actually doing the animation. So this year, when they said, "Look, Kath, we want to make a pipeline. We want to have it, like 80% animation, and we really want you to produce." that was actually, and I know this sounds really corny, but it was like the best day of my life, because for 9, the project meant so much to me, and then to actually be able to make something that was already great even better. So that doesn't have anything to do with what was the question that he asked, though. But yeah,
it gives a little bit of perspective as to where we're going.
That's true. And like our goal. I don't know if I can talk. Well, when we first started, I said, well, for me as a producer, I need to know what you want it to look like so that I know exactly how to budget and schedule and hire people. And we were looking at Old Republic, as far as like the look of it. And so
that Old Republic trailer.
The trailer. And so I'm like, all right, game on. Let's with what we have, let's bring it. And the team that we've put together is an extremely talented team. And I got to tell you guys, one of the best parts is these guys come to work, and sometimes I'll come in the morning, and I'm like, so did you finish that, blah, blah, blah. They will never have left that night. I mean, these guys work because they love the project so much. They work 24/7, and then I'm like, no, you got to go home and you got to get some rest, because this is ridiculous. But I think it's going to evolve. I think it's going to continue to evolve. So. Because I always laugh with this. When I used to go to events and they would talk about storyline, I would kind of go, oh shit, I don't really know. But now when you produce, you have to know every damn thing that's going on. So I do in fact know the storyline.
Well, I think too, if you look at essentially we're almost done with our 10th year. So when you look over the course of the first 10 years, it's nuts. Looking at this table right here, as the representatives of Rooster Teeth, 2 or 3 years ago, half the table would have been out there with you guys. And I think that's a big part of what we do at Rooster Teeth. One of the best things we did right out of the gate was we started the community site. And just, the logic of that was, we thought, okay, people will probably stick around for maybe 2 seasons of Red vs. Blue, and it was all that we were working on at the time. We didn't have other shows, and so we put the community site in place in order for the audience and the members to have a place to be, so that when we had something new, we could show it to them. So we thought, okay, well, at least if we have these people here and we put up a video, we know at least 100,000 people will watch it, and that's a good seed to kind of get something going. And obviously it's grown way beyond that now. But the big thing that's come out of the community site is it's become this enormous resource for the company. Most of our hires come from the community. That goes back to we hired Luke even, Barbara, Gavin. Michael's an example of somebody we just hired off the internet. But I think it all plays into it, where we just spot people who are doing cool things and try to make them part of Rooster Teeth, and we can do that. So.
Thank you very much.
Gav and Barbara said she knew where Tim Horton was, and she took us on a 17-mile walk. But we were talking about how the fact that when I first met them, they were teenagers, and now it's which I think you guys should talk about your experience from going from that to where you are now.
I'm much hairier now than I was.
So am I.
It's crazy. I've been coming to RVBTO since I was 16 years old. I've been coming every single year, and it's just incredible to be here 8 years later on this side of the table. It's the most surreal experience of my life. I'm on this special guest page. What? I remember meeting Bernie at the first event. Just walking in and be like, oh my god, Bernie Burns, hi.
He's so dreamy.
You said it, not me.
That's why I got him in my room.
My first experience with Barbara, I saw her account, and I almost deleted her account because I thought it was a fake account. I said, they obviously just, somebody pulled a photo off of some modeling site and just put it on a profile. I said, no way this person watches Red vs. Blue. Delete!
You talked about this on the podcast already.
Did I?
Thank you, Monty.
Now in true Monty fashion, you can't say anything for the rest of the game. You just have to sit there
Or
and
punch
go.
a lemon.
Hey, my name's Akib. I just took in that I'm the only brown guy here. Except the guy right next to me. And Django.
Sir, this is what's known as losing the crowd.
Now the question.
First time on my mic. You know, like for the last 5 minutes, I was just thinking of a gaming question or like something personal or existential. But honestly, later on, you guys are going to sparse out and talk to other people, and it's going to get crowded. So I just want to ask, can I have like a manly hug with Gavin and Bernie at the same time? Like,
You know, with me and Gavin though, I don't know where the manly comes into play. Hopefully you're gonna bring it.
Don't worry, we got you covered.
Read it.
Fight.
You have no ass. I just grabbed your ass. Did I miss it?
Because you kicked it in.
You grabbed this.
That's mine.
Thought I missed and grabbed your leg.
So this is a question for all four of you. What is your happiest or greatest moment in the last 10 years of Rooster Teeth?
Could be the dick that walks in front of everyone.
September 7th, 2011. That was the day that I got a message on AIM saying, hey Barb, we want to offer you the position of community manager at Rooster Teeth.
What we didn't tell her was going to take half a year to get a goddamn visa. Apparently they don't want Canadians to come down and steal jobs from Americans. I don't know what that is.
We'll send them over to China.
Their favorite day was also September 7th, 2011.
You know when you say it like that? My favorite day was September 7th, 2011. It's like you're planning a terrorist attack. It sounds so ominous. It was very quickly muted after it happened, but the moment when I realized that Brandon was gonna touch the electric fence, I can't tell you how much joy was in my heart. I didn't know I could be. What's that?
Sparkly anime eyes.
Yeah, I know. It's just like
RTAA.
That's kind of serial killer eyes.
yeah, it was dreamy for a second there.
I know there's tons and tons, but I think when I was in Chicago with Gus, and we went to the World Series, that was really awesome. But when I got my tattoo of Rooster Teeth, and I text Bernie, I go, Bernie, I got a Rooster Teeth tattoo on my hip, and he texts back, why did you do that?
Is that everybody?
I once accidentally said headlight fluid in a room full